Okay, no problem at all. You take care of yourself, and all the best to you and your family from England, and we'll catch you later. Mike 0 Kilo Oscar Oscar clear. Ciao.
Kilo India 4 India November Golf. Kilo India 4 India November Golf.
All right, that's a nice call sign, isn't it? Kilo India 4 India November Golf. Rolf, nice to hear. This is Mike 0 Kilo Oscar Oscar, as you know. Operator name is Kris. Kilo Romeo India Sierra, located in the north of England near the city of York. I'll give you a signal report on the next over. I was just busy bringing your QSL.com page up there. Back to you.
QSL, Kris, your signal on this end is a 5758. 5758. You were stronger earlier, but you kind of faded down just a little bit. But you're holding a 5758 right now. I've been sitting here listening to you as you was talking, and I was on QRZ looking on your page, and I noticed that you had that trailer, and I kind of laughed because we also have a trailer that we have a portable tower or portable military tower type thing on it, the AB 952. I have took it off the trailer right now, and I'm using it outside. But just in case the homeowners association ever tell me to take the antenna down, I can always go back to the trailer. But like I said, I saw your trailer, and I was like, oh wow, that's very, very nice. I think you're the first person I've seen with the trailers out here so far. Over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is a bit of a talking point. That, in fact, in the picture, it's minimum setting like it is today, because we've got these strong winds that you guys have had coming across now. So we take it down. It's only 30 feet in the air at the moment, but that's an American military trailer. I bought it from RAF Falconbury, where they were getting rid of some stuff. There was actually two of them. I should have bought the other one as well. It was brand new. Tilt over, tilt up. It had a generator on it and a PA and some PA speakers. It was meant to. It folds up into a square, I think, so they can transport it with a crane or move it with a helicopter, something like that. But of course, military build quality. But I wouldn't want to put anything bigger on it than I've got on it at the moment without putting a lattice bar on it. But as it is, it's fine. It tilts over, tilts up, so winds up, winds over. We had it down this morning because I thought I'll just give the antenna a quick check before this wind arrives, and good that we did, because one of the guy wires was just about to come off, and it had sheared one of the bolts off that holds the mast to the trailer. So we did all that quickly, and about an hour after that the wind arrived. But yeah, it's great, because where I live here, I do live in the country, but there's only me and the farm. But the field behind me, which you can see the antennas in, doesn't belong to me, belongs to the farmer. So he very generously lets me put my antenna in the field. So of course I didn't want to cement it in or anything like that. So that was perfect. So I got that, and yeah, and that's it. It works a treat, really. And of course, yeah, as you say, well, I don't have any problem with planning here. But yeah, if you some people do. But if it's on a trailer, it's classed as a portable installation, isn't it? So it's not really a lot they can do with it.
That is correct. That is correct. No doubt. You know, that was my backup plan. I live in one of these HOAs, and that was my backup plan. I said, well, if they ever say anything, I'm just going to go ahead and put everything back on the trailer. And I have a big field behind my house, and I'll just go ahead and I'll have it on the trailer out there when I want to talk. And when I'm done talking, I'll just let everything down and I'll put it back in the garage. Because the unit that I'm using, it actually goes down low enough that I can put it in the garage. I can't have the antenna on it, but I can leave it on the trailer and back it inside of the garage. You know, kind of sort of out of sight, out of mind. If you understand what I'm saying. Mike 0 Kilo Oscar Kilo India 4 India November Golf returning.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I'll copy Mike 0 Kilo Oscar returning. Well, that's a good idea. A few people do that. Yeah, as it says, and you know, this is the thing with these HOAs now, isn't it? Especially over your way. I know there are a lot of problems. Some neighbours can get really funny. I mean, my other QTH I was at was I had an M8, it was in an estate. I had an MA5B on the back of the house. Didn't have it on the rotator, just had it put in about 275 degrees, which is sort of North America, Canada. And I had that for a few years, no problem at all, no one complained. But, yeah, they do get a bit clicky, some neighbours, don't they? But as you say, I thought, I do love HF. And with all these switch mode power supplies and things that are coming, it was just getting more and more noisy. So I thought, well, let's just move out to the country. So, I've only moved about 10 miles out of the city. It's really peaceful, and as you say, no one can complain because it's not anywhere near any houses or anything like that, So yeah, it is a good backup plan because, as I say, you don't want to be off the radio. I mean, it's your hobby, isn't it? And it's you want to be able to use it as much as you can. So I do have a spare trailer. It's not as massive as that one, but it would be okay for a temporary beam if I wanted to put one on. So I had a problem with it or something like that. I could put a beam on it temporary. I do have another one, and I think they're handy to have in stock. Really, you never know when you're going to need them, or maybe your circumstances change temporarily or whatever. So I think it's a really good idea that you've got it there spare. But yeah, well, I think sometimes if your antenna's been up, I know in England, if it's been up a certain amount of time, and I don't know how many years it is, it's maybe 3 years or something. If it's been up a certain amount of time and no one's complained about it, they can't do anything about it. Back to you.
Well, I tell you what, Kris, mine has been up over here 4 years now. 4 years. I've been into ham radio now for 1 year. Before then, I was into the CB radio, and no one complained with the CB radio. And in the last year, no one said anything about the ham antenna. Of course, it's the same thing, I actually took my M105 beam that was for 11 meters, and I changed the measurements and made it for 10 meters, and it's working real good. I also have a Hustler 6B TV antenna. I have a 10-meter wire out there and a couple other little things. I even built myself a 2-element 20-meter beam that I have sitting on the ground. So I'm always up and down changing antennas and everything, so no one says anything. They don't bother me. Of course, I get along with all my neighbors. I think that's a big thing, I talk to all my neighbors and wave at them, and we stand out there in the street and talk, or down the sidewalk. I even go walking with a couple of them sometime, through the neighborhood. So I try to get along with my neighbors. So I believe that may be helping me also, somewhat. I don't know, but, like I said, just in case they ever say anything, no problem. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm just going to go ahead and take it down and put it back on the trailer and go with plan 2. And if plan 2 don't work, I'll go with plan 3, and that's to put it back on the trailer and go out to the beach or out to the park and just elevate it out there and talk on the radio out to mobile. Over.
Yeah, M0KOO to blow. So yeah, I don't think it'll come to that. I think you've had it up this amount of time now, you'll be okay. I mean, most neighbours are fine, aren't they? If you go out of the way to be pleasant with them, you do get the odd one that is just an attention seeker, now and again. But normally they're okay, aren't they? Even where I used to live, there was another radio hammer on the other side of the estate, and he had his beam up since about 1981. I can remember when I was at school. I remember him having his beam up then, and I was just inevitably well there. And, he's still got it up now. I think you get used to it, and it's fine. And as you say, if your neighbours know you're okay, that's all right, isn't it? So I think you'll be fine now. If it's been up 4 years, I don't think there'll be any issue there. I've talked to people on all sorts of pocket dipoles. I talked to a gentleman a couple of months ago. He was portable in Central Park in New York. I think he had a G90 Eagle or something, and one of them spider beam pocket dipoles up between a couple of trees. And he was absolutely ecstatic that he had a contact into the UK with that, and it's great. But if one person has a beam, at least it's a help, isn't it? Because if you like to track a lot on a long distance, if you can have a beam, it's fine. It's better. Not everyone can, as you say, but even if one of the stations has got one, it does help a bit. But yes, it's as you say. Of course, CB was never legalised in England until 1981. They were very strict over here with stuff. Europe had it and everything like that, like you did, but we never had it when it was AM. It was never legalised, and it was all illegal. When I was at school, everyone was getting them, but they were all illegal. And it was that'll have been about 1980. 79, something like that, and we must have quite a high solar panel pattern, because we could hear all the American truck drivers on the old mid-band AM really strong, and we used to do a bit of DX on 11 meters, and I remember saving up as a school by doing my paper rounds and getting what is it? I did get a Sailorman beam for 11, and I had that on my dad's house. He didn't mind, and everything was okay. Until someone reported me, I think I must have been causing a bit of TBI on AM, and anyway, they came round when I wasn't there and didn't get fined, but they said, look, we've got to confiscate his equipment. But as a 14-year-old lad, that was everything I had, so that was gutted, really. But then, I thought, we're always going to do my ham license when I get older anyway, so that's what I wanted to do. But of course, as a kid, you can't afford it, really. That was the issue. But over here now, well, then they did legalise CB on a weird skewed frequency just to be awkward in the UK. It was on FM, but it was a bit higher up. It was all sort of on the high band of what was the original 40-80 channel, the old 80 channel AM CBs from the States. You remember, it was on the sort of that high band there, but skewed off frequency. It was a real weird going on. But then what you got then was all the kids were getting them for Christmas. They all got ridiculous. So the people who liked to chat and DX stayed on the AM, and then all the kids who weren't on the FM part. But now over in Europe, I mean, I don't really go on there or anything, but it's all I think it's all been legalised now anyway. As long as you sort of behave, you can do what you want, really. But I think 11 meter DX is still very popular over in Europe. I think mainly for nostalgia's sake, really. I think a lot of them are probably radio hams, because there's quite a lot of good etiquette really now on the SSB part of it. But I think it's a bit nostalgic. I think that's why they do it. But yeah, if you like DX, you really need to get your ham license, because of course you're not waiting for just one band to be open. If one band's closed, you can go down to another band, 40 or 20 or anything like that. So yeah, we're very lucky to have these bands, and I think that's why we need to keep using them really, and make sure they're active. Otherwise they're trying to take us off us probably. Back to you, Kilo India 4, India November Golf, from Mike 0 Kilo Oscar.
Okay, Mike 0 Kilo Oscar. I'm not going to hold you up anymore. I know those other guys want to call you, and that way they can get hold to you before it fade out for sure. But I'm definitely going to continue this conversation on another day for sure, because it's so many questions I want to ask you, especially about this antenna. I am very, very impressed about the antennas, because I'm always building my own antennas and experimenting. And I'm really impressed about this antenna that you have on the trailer with the multi-bands on it. It looks like you even go all the way down to 2 meters, it looks like. I'm not too sure. I can't tell the length just by looking at it, but it looks like it's got a lot of bands on that thing. So I'm very interested in that for sure. And then the 3-element stepper, well, we all want a 3-element stepper. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay.